he's saying like, you guys can do so much more, and we're kind of hyping them up. And then we go into the first dunk session, and CJ Champion, you should pull up some of his stuff. He is a freak. This kid, Isaiah and him used to compete. They both ironically grew up in Florida. Yeah. Didn't know they both lived there. They're about the same age.
Fuck's in that water, man.
There is something in the water in Orlando. We have seen it so many times. There's so many freaky athletes in Florida.
Got all those gators, and they got all those boa constrictors.
Yeah, this is CJ. So CJ,
we've seen him before.
CJ's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
And CJ comes up, and he punches that. He did that. So he does that one-hander, and literally all the guys, their jaw just drops to the floor, and I was like, that is why we are here. So that was probably the closest we've ever gotten, but hopefully someday we'll kind of bridge that gap and be able to work in that. I think people think we're just a specialist at this, but in reality, it's all the same, just different directions. You know what I mean? It's just power displayed in a different direction, just vertically versus side to side or whatever else.
Greatest dunk of all time.
Greatest dunk? What is the greatest dunk of all time?
Yeah, what one like...
I'll answer this because Isaiah can't.
What gives you guys like chills or goosebumps, or you get so pumped where you're like, fuck, man, I got to get it back out there and dunk?
Oh, man. It's so individual for everyone.
I'm
and
sure
Isaiah,
you can pick more than one.
Isaiah doesn't want to answer because he would... I will say this, he's probably done the greatest dunks of all time of anyone ever. So if he says, well, I'm the greatest dunker, it looks super cocky.
I like my own dunks.
My dunks are better than everyone else's.
Why do you guys make him sound like that, though?
I know, he's got a beautiful voice.
It's very soothing. So I would say my favorite that he's ever done, and the other thing you have to remember is that the increment of 1 or 2 inches on a rim height changes things massively. And it's a current debate and an argument right now in the sport. Everyone wants to be super legit, but the reality is if you go to a 24-hour fitness, your expectation, if you're one of us, is that the rims are not 10 feet. You'll measure them. They might be 9, 10 and a half, 9, 11, right? It might be 9, 11 and a half. It might be 9, 9. And so Isaiah at a 9, 9 rim versus a 10-foot rim unlocks infinite more dunks. 3 inches?
Really?
3 inches is a lot.
Oh, okay.
Hey now.
So if you, that difference in that rim height, it unlocks an arsenal of dunks that are their video game level. Like if you look up 360 behind the back, between the legs, I would argue this is the greatest dunk that's ever been done. Ever, and Isaiah, you've done it on, what height rim have you done that on?
Pat Project family. The legendary sweet rolls and the tasty pastries are some of the best tasting protein snacks you will ever find. They're so good. Andrew, where can they get?
No lies detected. Head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout enter promo code PowerProject to save 20% off your entire order. And Nsima's still eating them, so guys, hurry up, head over there right now before he eats them all.
9, 9 3/4.
9, 9 3/4. So if to make it like legit of legit, obviously we want to do 10. And so that's why we're looking at this NBA court in Sacramento Kings. Like I was saying, those floors are souped up. We're like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen there, And so that dunk, it's like on 10 feet, I would say the greatest. Oh, this is the 9, 9 one. He's done it on 9, 10 since, I think.
Well, I mean, this shit's still...
This is crazy.
This is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Isaiah was freaking out. Immediately. The reaction, it was crazy.
There's so much going on that it's like, I need to see like a slow-mo.
You will, yeah. I think it maybe is the next clip. You'll see it slowed down.
Nobody in the gym has any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just playing horse in the background.
Yeah, he got a lot of flack from someone that we respected for this because it was 9-9. So now we always say rim heights. We always disclose it. At the time, it wasn't fully discussed. But
that shit's like
that's
powerlifting. When they're like,
Sumo.
but it was a whippy bar and you use straps. Like, God.
For us, it's like get in the same gym, try to do the dunk on the same height. Like that's where I love it. That's why we love dunk camp, because dunk camp every year, it's like, look, we're all going to be on the same rims. We're all going to be in the same session. Let's see who shows out. You know what I mean? And it's always a fun competition. It's always crazy, like, to see what guys do in that environment. But I personally, he's done that on 9
and 3/4.
9, 10 and 3.
Wait, which dunk?
360 behind the back between legs.
Yeah, 9, 9 and 3/4.
9, 9 and 3/4. I saw him hit it at dunk camp on the side and finished on the side of the rim. I know for a fact that was 9, 10. So I would say 9, 10 personally. But I've seen him do it now a couple times. He's going to hit it on 10 feet eventually. That dunk's probably one of the greatest. On 10 feet, probably. What do you think? What would you say on 10 feet?
If you look up Dunkademic's birthday session, that whole session was like crazy new dunks that nobody's done. So that's yeah.
I would say Lost and Found is probably one of the greatest dunks.
What happens when you guys go to, like, what happens when you're like around like NBA players or high level players? Like,
you'd have to answer that.
Do they you know what I mean? Like, do they? Obviously, there's a lot of people that know who you are, but there's a lot of people that don't, right?
Yeah. with NBA players, a lot of time they're like judging dunk competitions and stuff like that. But it's honestly just like anywhere you show up, just try your best to show out. If there's a hoop, like we're gonna show up in there.
But
and
you
do our
probably
best.
get immediate respect, right? They're probably like, hey, or they hate on it. You think
Sometimes
like,
some hate, because
Yeah.
they're like, I could do that if I tried. Like, oh, that would be easy
don't
if
have
I
a
actually gave a shit about it.
there's no defense.
Or they're like, some people kind of view it, you know, in golf, they're like, oh, it's like long drive, like it's the same. And I'm like, it's not really the same. I see your point, but it's there's more skill to it. And like all of these guys, not all of them, but a lot of them, we can play basketball at a decently high level. I've seen Isaiah play defense against one of the best, or actually 1v1 against a kid that was going to go, or probably will go to the NBA in a couple of years at OT. And it was like a fair match on 1v1, like 1v1, just purely the athleticism that he has. And so some of the guys hate on it because it could be a jealousy thing. Some guys like Steph Curry, like freaked out when one of our athletes, Brandon Ruff, B-Ruff, he did like, I don't even know what it was. It was like a push-off double up or something.
Yeah, he like went over the hood of a car and dunked it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Steph was like, Steph Curry's like freaking out. He's like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like whatever else. So it's a little bit polarizing, at least in my
The guys that are secure and they're already locked in really good, they probably don't care as much, right?
So
Hey, I know you guys enjoyed the video, so like, comment, subscribe, and head to the Power Project Discord below. Talk to y'all later.